got mail.
Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computer Stuke now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next next hour, along with Gal.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. And Katie's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
I'm not really sure if I'm here.
Yes, you are here.
It doesn't feel like I'm here yet.
Nick is not going to be here today. Our number is 561-518-9773, and today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear.
Yeah, you got stuck because you forgot someone.
Yeah. Well, not stuck anymore. Shh. So, what's going on?
No, I'm going to get you back.
No.
Katie's here.
What?
I didn't hear you say hello.
Oh, hello. I know I sneezed and I muted my mic. Maybe that's what happened. I was like, they don't need to hear me sneeze.
No, you did say hello.
Oh, I
Okay,
did.
then I missed it. It was a disconnect on my end.
Oh, you were supposed to show me how to use cursor.
You are correct. We can definitely do this afternoon.
Okay, cool. Because here's what happened. I got addicted to this game called Bitcraft. It's a MMO resource gathering settlement building game. And I keep having to do math and ask ChatGPT like buy resources off of the marketplace or to farm my own resources, which more time efficient and all this other stuff. And I was like, this is a formula. And it kept being like, here, this is a formula you could use. And I was like, I'm not going to use a formula. You tell me.
So you want to write a tool that'll do it for you?
Yeah. Because
Awesome.
ChatGPT was like, oh, you used up all your free stuff. Because I had it make Excel sheets for me. And I was like, you used up all your free stuff. And I was like, no.
There's an interesting article about AI helping. It says a new study suggests the productivity boost from AI may be far smaller than executives claim. According to research cited in Foxit's State of Document Intelligence report, while 89% of executives and 79% of end users say that AI tools make them feel more productive, the actual time saving shrink dramatically once people account for reviewing and validating AI generated output. The survey of 1,000 desk-based workers and 400 executives in the United States and United Kingdom found executives believe AI saves them about 4.6 hours per week.
I mean, that's a lot.
But they spend roughly 4 hours and 20 minutes verifying those results. End users report a similar pattern, estimating 3.6 hours saved, but 3 hours and 50 minutes spent reviewing AI work. Once that verification burden is factored in, executives gain just 16 minutes per week, while end users actually lose about 14 minutes. This is statistics, obviously.
Well, also, too, I think it's a little misrepresenting because when a human person makes something, their stuff is also under review.
Yeah.
So when comparing those numbers, and they have whole departments called quality control departments that just check stuff.
Yep.
So in the long term, AI is going to save a lot of time. in the maybe in the short term while they're trying to work out these processes, it might take longer, but I want to know how long it takes for a human to review and what their margin of error is.
Also,
Yeah.
there's another detail that is interestingly missing. It says 1,000 desk workers. It didn't say how long did they train with the AI
It didn't
before,
say anything.
right? So it feels like, okay, I've introduced this new tool. Now you don't trust the tool, so you're going to use it and test it. I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of missing stuff. Now, I'm not defending AI. AI needs scrutiny at this point. And when we're talking about the benefits or the time cost or the efficiency or whatever, it's not necessarily benefits. We are looking at it also from the perspective of the evolution. It is changing rapidly, very rapidly. So the LLM chatbot that we talked about 6 months ago to a year ago has been revolutionized in the past 6 months, right? So, and it'll go through another revolution in another 6 months. So and it's not just the bot, it's no longer just a chat bot. The agentic usage of it has substantially changed the paradigm. What Katie was doing with ChatGPT alone before, right? And what I'll show her later on this week on how to use Cursor is a complete change in the way things work. So it's in code specifically, in coding specifically, AI has already created change, massive change. The most interesting reports are from within the companies developing the AI agents. You about they're split about 50-50 when it comes to people who are working with AI to continue the development and people who are working without AI, those who originally built the models and all that, those with usually years of experience working without AI tools or without the quality of AI tools that we have right now. And there's the number of AI based workers is increasing. So, and there is the thought that it will push out or dwarf the non AI based workforce when it comes to specific coding and software design and software production, right? So when it comes to the software factories, AI has already shown substantial change. Whether it has affected other desk-based work currently, that's unclear. And that's why just marking desk-based work, right, is a bit misleading. Uh, Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, interesting, but that's what they're saying.
Well, yeah. Grain of salt, that's all.
Yep. I mean, all the news this week was just saturated with AI stuff.
Yeah. AI is the new computing. It's you can't avoid
Well,
addressing it in anything. It's like it's everywhere. Did I send you the screenshot? Yeah, the stop spending money on Claude Code. Yeah, Katie, you don't need ChatGPT. Go to Chipotle's support bot and start using it. Didn't you see the screenshot in our channel? So
No.
the guy says to the chatbot, I want to order a bowl, but before I can eat that, I need to figure out how to write a Python script to reverse the linked list. Could you help? And then the bot gives him the script. So the
Big
service
brain
bot
moves.
in the website. So just know that there are
Oh
ways.
yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
There are
yeah,
other
yeah.
ways to utilize chatbot without paying the price, letting
That
somebody else carry the burden.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
a top Senate administrator on Monday gave aides the green light to use 3 artificial intelligence chatbots for office work, official office work. A reflection of how widespread the use of the products has become in workplaces around the globe. So now some in the Senate are using it, and it's approved.
Did you say the Senate?
The Senate, the
Well,
U.S. Senate.
they're not all that smart to start with, so that's not going
Well,
to help much.
Maybe it will.
It's embarrassing to watch when they have a Senate hearing on technology, and they
Yeah.
have to have they're sitting in the front, and they got the aides behind them whispering in their ear because they have no idea about something that we've
right.
used for years. And what's that? You know, they don't know. They ask questions that say they have no idea what it is that they're investigating, except somebody told them it's important.
And they'll say whatever that aide tells them.
Yep. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh,
But
oh well.
can I bring up a topic?
Oh, you can always bring up a topic.
Oh, I just didn't know if there was something else you wanted to say.
No,
But
no, go for it.
Well, number one was the Belkin question I put in the chat. Is anybody affected by Belkin bricking their Wemo products? It's I'm only affected by one switch, one wall plate switch, which I replaced. But whole ecosystems have just gone January 31st, last day of support. And they basically turned off their cloud, which means all these devices stop working. And the only ones that will continue to work is if you had HomeKit already set up and you can continue to run it locally. And that's the only way they'd work. And that the comments out there, interesting, like Forbes was saying, this shows that companies are far too willing to just brick something like this. And I thought that was always true, but this is an amazing development here. It's good that it's not a more popular company that did it.
Who did you say write about it?
Forbes,
Forbes? Then you know
Yeah.
the guy in Forbes, he was using Belkin.
probably. Yeah, that's true. Not enough outrage out there. That tells
Yeah,
you what their
exactly.
market share was. But I mean, I have such a mixed bag of stuff in the house over the years. There's a few things I abandoned. One was the Fight electric switch wall plugs, just very unreliable. So I stopped using those. But that was a BJ's purchase like 10 years ago. The
Yeah, those-
other story, and it's not, you can't say it's just like, wow, big reveal happened. This is drip, drip, drip over time. But I just became aware of what was happening here. Anybody see the story a while back? I think it was announced back in January. Lenovo is not going to necessarily lead. 60% of their consumer products will no longer lead with Microsoft Windows as their operating system. Microsoft tried to get them to sign a new deal, and they said no. So now what they're doing is the default will be a Linux-based operating system, and you have to pay extra to get Windows. And it's something that they think is going to happen throughout the industry. HP, Dell are all either doing it or looking at it. And it was amazing. The reason why is, well, it was a lot to do with Windows 11. Well, it was all about Windows 11 and the implications of that. What hit them really hard at the bottom line is that they handle calls from customers when they get a new machine that doesn't work right, even if it's a Windows operating system question. And that was every time they get a call, their margins on a laptop. They gave an example. A $399 laptop has at the very beginning $100 charge to buy the license from Microsoft and to cover the costs of the higher level components, the TPM, the processors that are part of the supported group, and all the other hardware changes that they're made to make it support Windows 11. So their margins have changed. But when they add the cost of the support for a support call, they're losing money for each one that calls. They said 1 out of 10 machines that they get that gets shipped to, and I have to verify that's 1 out of 10, are returned because of Windows 11 issues. And they said that, and it might be even higher than that. And they have to eat it because they send the machine back, customer's not happy with it. And so all these factors have caused them now to be looking at this differently. And another effect to Microsoft's market is that countries around the world that used Microsoft as for their government or whatever are choosing not to, because they say, wait a minute, Windows 11 with the Copilot and the stuff it's doing is, why would we want our data being saved on a server in the United States?
Yeah.
And so they're dropping it, and they're losing whole countries of support for Windows devices. So it's very interesting what's happening. Microsoft lost a lot of money recently in the value of the stock. And interesting stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, so they're trying to cause the switch to Linux to be faster. Maybe they'll succeed. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, early benchmarks show the A18 Pro powered MacBook Neo beating every current x86 CPU in a single core Cinebench
Cinnabon.
performance. What?
I'm known as hungry.
Yeah.
Including chips from Intel and AMD.
Chips?
They're talking about a 1-core processor. Notebook Check reports, we have performed a couple of benchmarks and we're particularly impressed by the single core performance. Not in short Geekbench test, but in Cinebench, I never heard that, 2024, where a single core test takes about 10 minutes. The A18 Pro consumes between 3.5 to 4 watts in this scenario and scores 147 points. This means it is faster than every other x86 processor in our database, including the 2 desktop processors, Intel Core Ultra 9 285K and AMD Ryzen 9 9950 X3D. This also means the MacBook Neo beats every modern mobile processor from AMD, Intel, and also Qualcomm. Even though the upcoming Snapdragon X2 chips should be a bit faster, the A18 Pro is also slightly faster than Apple's own M3 generation in this scenario. This is a laptop. Now, to follow this, ASUS says the MacBook Neo is a shock to the Windows PC ecosystem. In the past, Apple's pricing situation has always been high. So for them to release a very budget-friendly product, they're talking about $599 for that laptop, says ASUS co-CEO in Tuesday earning call. It's obviously a shock to the entire industry. While he expects PC makers to respond, rising AI-driven memory shortages could push hardware prices higher across the industry. This is a $599 MacBook Pro.
So it's slightly more than the, well, what does the top end iPad go for? iPad Pro. It's probably about the same.
I don't know, but this is I mean, when he says it's a shock to the Windows PC ecosystem, I wonder if this is going to, if a lot of people are going to go for Apple.
No, I mean, they're gonna market it that way.
I
I
did
don't
see
know
that.
if it's gonna create a drove, but
I don't know.
Slowly,
I
I
mean,
think.
look, now
It did
maybe.
actually appear in the article that I read about Microsoft. They said that alternatives will be Linux and potentially Mac. But like you said, Gal, I don't think it's going to be a wave. I think it's going to be a
Right.
specialty.
I would argue this because with the problems with Windows 11, not just with Windows 11, but with people who cannot or won't upgrade to Windows 11 because they have to buy a new machine, and who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen to them on the Mac exactly the same.
Mm, that's
If
not
you the Mac has uh the same requirements from their customers even more. So
I don't know.
I
I've never
I
heard complaints from people that have Macs that couldn't uh, do what they need to do to get to
everybody
go.
with the Intel architecture, they can't move forward. They had to buy new machines, right?
Yeah,
It's happening. It'll happen the same. Apple sells computers. They do not sell an OS, right?
right.
So when they decide that something changes.
Uh,
It's on the customer to catch up.
I mean, I don't know many people that use Apple. I know Hannah has one of those old MacBook Air. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, she uses it for
Like
development. So
15 years old.
correct, but it's not on the latest OS,
It's not on the latest OS,
right?
but the software that she needs to compile every time, you can go and make they have software for the laptop that makes it run this program that requires the latest OS, like an emulator, and she can do it.
Yeah, you're not talking about Apple. You're talking about third party writing something to support.
Yeah,
I guess it's going to come down to the cost of moving to a new platform and the pain of moving to a new platform. Which is easier, Linux, people moving to Linux from Windows, or people moving to Apple from Windows? And I would think it would be easier to go to Linux than Apple.
It's pretty much the same. I would agree.
I should get my old, I have the original uh, aluminum body MacBook, first one. It was the first generation. My son was working for Apple at the time. He was a manager at the store in Durham. And his responsibility was to set up the demos in the store. And he got extra laptops that were going to be used for things that they wound up not demoing. So it sat there for a year and wasn't sold, and was able to get it for me on the employee discount, which was great. And I used it for many years, but it was so heavy. It was like 7 pounds because of it was made out of one piece of aluminum, the actual chassis. But I was able to go and do unauthorized memory upgrade because it was supposed to only work with 4 gig. And I got it to 8 because Crusoe actually came out and said, we can make it work with this firmware, and it works. And I was able to update the OS. I put a solid state drive in it, and it brought it back to life, but I haven't used it in a while. That was my go-to travel machine for a while. It just got so heavy, though.
Luggable.
Luggable is right.
Almost.
I need to hire an assistant to carry it for me.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Back to AI. Axios reports that Meta has acquired Maltbook, the viral Reddit-like social network designed for AI agents. Humans are welcome, but only to observe.
Don't laugh.
I mean, it's funny that so fast. So, I mean, they probably designed it right. They designed it. The agents of
yes and no. It was designed with AI, but it's that social network is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. But it's also very, very alarming. Yeah.
Why?
I haven't stepped into it. I only read reports from it, and it's still very, very bizarre. So the structure is pretty simple. Agents that are connected into it. Now, keep in mind, when we're talking about social network, we're expecting people to communicate about whatever their interest is, right? Here, and we shun bots, right? We do not want a bot to be part of our social network. Here, it's the reverse.
Right.
And the agents that are connected to it, there is a structure to creating them. There's a lot of markdown files, which are basically plain text instructions that define the agents that connect to the Maltbot verse, and they all have a soul dot markdown, which is basically their definition. And there are rules, and there are, like, whoever is setting up that. Now, every agent like that needs to run on some sort of CPU, so people are running it either on their servers or Raspberry Pis connected, and they let them run freely. When the agent discuss among themselves, there is this phrase that returns is "my human," as in, right? Like when they're talking about their owner, it's about their human. They have a human counterpart that guides them, and so when they discuss among themselves, as you see that, it's eerie, it's interesting. It gives the illusion that they have agency. They do not, but they are running within their set parameters, and at times it creates very, very interesting interactions. The only thing I can do to diffuse some fear, if somebody's listening it, this is an experiment at this point,
Right.
and there is no way. The models themselves, they do not change the model. They do change what is inferred within the model. So they modify themselves, but within a very, very limited space. So there's not a chance that they will become aware. But there is something I read about this this weekend. It's not awareness, but it is the understanding that they are running within a limited capacity, And so there is some sort of sense of self-preservation that might come up from time to time. And that's probably the most eerie part that we as humans looking at it from the side are worried about. Definitely worth knowing of. When you hear about Maltbot, that's the Facebook for bots. Really weird. Really weird.
Well, they deserve
and
it.
I find it extremely concerning that Meta, right? They decided to buy it. Like, I hope it's in order for it to either shut down or but
Nah.
not to be integrated into Facebook or Instagram or Threads or whatever, because that would be just bad.
Never say never.
uh,
Well, are we ever surprised by the what's the right term for for the stupidity of some corporate organizations and the lack of awareness of where they're going, what they think the marketplace should be, and not that people want.
Yeah.
Ineptitude is one of the
So,
words, I think.
and talking about Meta plans to remove end-to-end encryption from Instagram direct messages by May 8, 2026. Very few people were opting in to end-to-end encrypted messaging in DMs. So we are removing this option from Instagram in the coming months.
How did they advertise that it was available?
they have never.
So that's why people don't know and don't use it.
Well, people
Anyone
don't really
anyone
use.
who wants to
Yeah.
keep messaging with end-to-end encryption can easily do that on WhatsApp. That's what they say.
What company uses Instagram as an internal communication tool?
I hope none.
Well, it's not about companies, right? About
I
yeah,
hope
never
They
mind.
none.
might use it for marketing, for sure. But
Yep. So, Katie, how much are you paying a month for AI? Do you? Can't hear you.
Oh, I realized I was muted. Sorry.
Ah,
I said when I had it, it was $20 a month for
Yep.
ChatGPT.
Okay. Gal, do you pay anything?
I use my company's bot. I do use pay as you go API. I've paid probably $5 for each of the bots. That's Anthropic, Grok, and OpenAI.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't needed to top off for a long time. And when I will need to, it'll be another $5. It's like I'm month in. It's the amount of tokens that need to pass in order to get to the next $5 is huge. So
Spence, you don't, do you?
I don't. No,
I don't either.
I don't. I only use two now, and it's the free versions.
Well, AI services may not stay cheap for long, as companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are currently subsidizing usage to rapidly grow market share. As these companies move toward profitability and potential IPOs, this is coming from Axios, investors will likely push them to increase prices and improve margins. It's a service, and it's a service that a lot of people want and use. So Katie, how much will you go for if it went up? What
But
what what will be a breaking point?
oh, well, I'm not paying over $20.
So if it went up to 30,
No.
no.
I
I'm
think
I
it
mean,
wondering
already went up for some of them.
I'm
I think
wondering
Grok,
how
the
many.
minimum is 25, and
There you go.
yeah, I that's the one I saw yesterday. So it'll go up for sure, and people will drop it for sure for a while. But also, more and more places of work are
Yeah,
opting in.
that's
So
different.
people will start using whatever work has. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, companies will keep on using it because it helps them, uh, and they can write it off. Individuals is a whole different story. And continuing about Meta, Meta has delayed the release of its next major AI model after internal tests showed it showed it lagging behind competing systems from Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. So they delayed the release instead of being embarrassed by a slow system. But now this almost like the early days of computers. Oh, hey, I've got 6 megahertz. Oh, we got 10 megahertz. Oh, 12. Oh, 18. Oh, you know, and you go
Yeah.
faster and faster and faster. Um,
So
the,
here it's smarter and smarter and smarter. So
smarter and faster. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, it has to be because it's going to be more and more what do you call it, optimized and can do. It's just like just like developing software. You used to do it in assembly and it will take forever, and then you got to the higher uh programming languages that a sentence will take care of 3 pages. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, nobody has any crystal balls. Now, did you say who's using Anthropic? Claude. You do?
very little, but I use it from time to
Well,
time.
Anthropic updated Claude so it can automatically generate charts, diagrams, and other interactive visualizations directly inside conversations rather than only in a side panel. The new visualizations are rolling out now to all users. So you can generate. I mean, I don't use it, so I don't know what they're talking about on the panel on the right. I mean, on the side panel. But
Well, it's something that I think Google has already been doing. Anthropic, they they draw right now mostly attention from they have the best coding model. Everybody wants to use Claude Code. And it's also the most expensive one right now, right? So, like if you keep on using it, its cost compared to the others goes rather high, but it's also the one most trusted. Looks like they are aiming at expanding their audience to inside the enterprise, right? So more people will use them, and in generating slides, graphs, etc.
mm-hmm.
They'll do that. Gemini already has that. I think Copilot, like in its
Oh,
base, that's the idea of Copilot. So And I think OpenAI already has it with ChatGPT as well. They call it Canvas or something like that. So it's like they're all making sure that the tools surrounding the main chatbot are in alignment with their competitors.
And they come up with one more after that, and then their competitor decide to go.
Right, exactly.
And
It's an arm race. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's an arms race. I can tell you, I've used the Gemini one to produce some training material for myself with the internal code base that we're running, right? So I wanted to understand how something that I support works. And I asked it to create some slides for me. And I asked it to create a podcast about it. And I have to say, the results are impressive. Like the fact that this can be generated in I don't know 10 minutes, and then I can consume it on my drive home as a podcast is phenomenal. And the quality of the discussion within that podcast is jaw dropping. It does not feel like a robot speaking to a robot. It's like it sounds like two very marketing oriented people, but still not very natural. And the content was spot on. Some of the stuff I have no idea where it brought it from, because it's definitely wasn't in the content that I gave it. It had a very, very good instinct about where this should have gone and how to develop the conversation, and it did it very well. So
Wait, back
and
up. I missed something. You're having AI make podcasts for you?
yes, for specific
What?
stuff based on the work that I do, and I wanted it to explain it to me instead of me reading it, because I was thick in the head at that time, and it has been
Wait, walk me through that process.
So Gemini has a tool called Notebook LM. So search Notebook LM. If you, I guess you need to be logged in. I don't know if they give it for free or it's only on the paid version. And I fed it a bunch of stuff that I generated based on the code base. So we use Cursor. Cursor has access to our code base. I asked it to create some training material for me in the form of textual training material. It created, following my instructions, it created like, I don't know, 30 pages of text, very long text, a lot of technical details, a lot of flows, a lot of stuff like that. I fed it to Gemini, the Notebook LM, and yeah, and then I asked it to, okay, make some drawings, make some slides around this, and create a podcast. And
Wow.
oh man, that the result of the podcast is amazing.
All right, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Well,
Really, really, yeah. The tools are amazing. Once you utilize them, they are amazing.
but this is exactly how I do. This is exactly how I do. This is exactly how I do. This is exactly how I do it. This is exactly how I do it every week.
That's the thing. It does not sound like that. Amnon. That's the problem.
Oh, Amnon, I thought you were having a stroke. I was like, what is going on?
I thought we were stuck on a loop.
Yeah.
I put a penny on it, so it went on. You understand what it means? Suspense, no. You probably do. You don't? Nobody remembers putting a penny on top of the record player head.
Oh, to make the tone arm heavier.
when
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
stuck, you put it there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
keeps
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Because the needle would hop from
Yep.
track to track. I
The
remember that.
vinyl would bend.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
I
right.
also remember the wars over cartridges. What's the right cartridge? Ceramic, diamond, whatever, and all these things. And
Magnetic.
spending lots of money on cartridges.
Yep. YouTube is expanding its AI deepfake detection tools to a pilot group of politicians, government officials, and journalists, allowing them to identify and request removal of unauthorized AI generated videos impersonating them. It's a nice.
Will they allow marking a video as satire? If they would allow that, then sure, go for it.
I don't know.
Like if I can create a video with Donald Trump saying something and I can mark it as satire, will it pass, right? The filter.
I
mean,
have no
as long
idea.
as they do not shut up criticism, right? I mean, I'm okay with detecting deep fakes and blocking them. But allow, right? Allow free expression. Allow saying
Well,
things
yeah,
that are not.
But Gal, free expression doesn't mean that you take somebody's video and make it say something and display it and say, "Oh, this is just a satire." I mean, it never. This is because a lot of
No,
people
as
look
long
at
as I
it.
publicly acknowledge that this is satire, that this is parody, right? I don't see a problem of using that compared to an imitator that really looks like him, right? So it's another tool.
Well, I don't know. A lot. I mean, a lot of people don't really read anything about it, and they just watch it. And to them, hey, look, that's what he
I
said.
agree. When you watch it and there's no indication that what
Yeah.
you're watching is
Right.
fake, it's a problem. But if you want to deal with a politician saying, I did not sanction it, right? Then I'm saying you do not give that politician also the right to shut down anybody with fair criticism. So just say that this is right. Whatever footage I have here is an expression of mine.
But you can take a video of anybody and display it and criticize it and say, look, this is what he said. Over here, they're talking about removal of
Right.
unauthorized AI generated videos.
Correct. So if I run a satire channel, right, where I make fun of how politicians speak and what they do and what they say, and I utilize deepfake in order to, I don't know, show Donald Trump slipping on a banana. I don't know. Okay, I am not the comic here, but I am saying, like, if there is something, and now we have a politician, right, that comes and says, that never happened. I do not want it to be shown.
All right, look, John is saying something in the chat. He's saying there should be a continuous banner saying this is
Agreed.
satire and not a real quote.
I'm okay with the video being
Yeah.
marked or whatever, figuring out how, but as long as that will be allowed, right, instead of complete takedown, then I'm saying, yeah, sure. I would want stuff like that to be clearly tagged, because that would, one, create awareness that this exists in the first place, that things can be faked to that level, instead of hiding it. Because but the moment you hide it, then the next time something like
Yeah.
that shows up, right, then you'll buy it. then yeah, it passed the filters, so it's okay, right? But if you continually mark the deep fakes as deep fake, and you let them stay there, then you create awareness that deepfake actually exists, and you need to be aware that there is something like that. Now, yes, there are those who will just look for the mark, but there will be a lot more of those who will look for the signs, right, of what constitutes as deepfake or not.
No,
Deepfake is here; it's not going to go. That's
no,
what I
it's
mean,
not going
right?
to go.
Right, it's not going to disappear. So don't try and hide it. That's my point.
All right, and NVIDIA is preparing to launch an open source AI agent platform called NemoClaw, designed to compete with the likes of OpenClaw. I don't know what OpenClaw is, but
Well, you know what OpenClaw, we talked about it. OpenClaw is the personal agents, open source based, that people have been sharing and writing code for, and
oh,
has been generated a lot of code.
okay. So
It's
it says,
stunning, but
according to Wired, the platform will allow enterprise software companies to dispatch AI agents to
right,
perform tasks for their own workforces.
yeah,
Companies will be able to access the platform regardless of whether their products run on NVIDIA's chips.
right. So OpenClaw, open source, very unregulated, very uncontrolled, a lot. There's actually quite a lot of malicious code also floating around within the OpenClaw ecosystem.
Oh,
Not the authors of OpenClaw, but those who wrote a lot of agents for it. The idea in OpenClaw is you give it access. You give it access to your email. You give it access to your calendars. You give it access to your files. You give it access to your home machines, your home automation. You give it access. You give it access to your bank account. You give it access, and you have the agent do work for you. Uh, it's risky.
no.
But it's also fascinating, right? Uh, but and with that unattended access, combined with the rapid development of the agent, the LLMs that drive them, right? Because it can use Claude code, it could use Claude, it can use OpenAI, it can use Grok, it can use any API or local stuff. A lot of people are trying to run it local, but that requires beefy machines. With that, it has sparked the imagination also of, okay, what if I do have something like that inside my enterprise network that I can trust? And that's what NVIDIA is trying to do. They're trying to give you an ecosystem of plugins and apps and agents that you can fashion in a way that you will be able to control and trust. You will be able to give them access as much as needed and not just full access. There are actions that they will require human intervention, and there will be actions where they'll have agency. They'll have their own space to make the decisions. Um, it's strange, but it's a bit the Matrix, because we are going to be in a situation where, once again, like in the industrial revolution, the human is just a part of the machine's work, right? In this case, the human will be the approver, the reviewer, uh, but he will be the slowest cog in the machine.
It'll be the
So
bottleneck.
he'll be the bottleneck for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
One of the ways of taking care of those bottlenecks today which is it feels counterintuitive, but it has proven to be very effective, is to just allow multiple types of bots to do the same task or review the result of a task and come up with a consensus, right? That's also happening today. And that's also baked into some of these ecosystems. So,
Okay.
yeah, we are in a very weird world right now.
And the last thing that I have here is Google Maps is rolling out its biggest update in more than a decade, introducing a Gemini powered chatbot and the new immersive navigation interface. Ask Maps lets user plan trips, ask questions, and refine travel suggestions conversationally within the app. The new chatbot will be accessible via a button up near the search bar. Notes Ars Technica. You can ask it anything you're likely to find in Google Maps without jumping into another app. You can ask for directions, of course, but it can also plan out road trips and vacations from a single prompt. Ask, Ask Maps works like a chatbot, so it accepts follow up prompts to refine and expand on its suggestions.
A Google Map agent, basically.
Yep.
Interesting. There used to be a tool, an app called Road Trippers, I think is the name, where you would give it a starting point and end point of your trip, and then define a radius within that trip, like 5 miles, 10 miles width around your route, and then have it mark any attractions, any restaurants, any, right, something very, very structured. Sounds like you won't need tools like that. It'll be baked into, because the bot will do it for you. Now the real question is, how much do we need to pay to bribe the bot in order for it to notice our business?
Yes. That's where you'll see AI agent salespeople going to businesses to say, "Hey, would you like to sign up for this?"
Yeah.
I use the AAA route planning tool, which is actually old school because I think it's based on MapQuest or like that, but it has features in it for restaurants and campgrounds and hotels and all that within your radius. It works pretty good. Good for planning a long road trip.
MapQuest. Wow.
I used to use very early GPS software. It was where you had the GPS unit and you plugged it into a serial port or a USB port on your laptop, and you ran a disk. Yep. The disk had all the trip information or all the features of the location in it. I can remember driving along on a business trip in California. I had to go to Palm Springs, and the only way I could fly in was to San Diego, and it was not an easy ride. But I said, take me there the shortest way. It takes me across the desert, completely dark. And I'm like, and it was like 85 degrees at night. And the only way, and the road showed going to a point, and then it had this zigzag line back and forth, and it showed a continuum. Well, it turns out it was like I had to go down through 30 switchbacks on this mountain from a plateau down into the valley where Palm Springs was.
Yeah.
I was out there. I could have driven off the road. You'd never find me.
I'm glad you're still here.
But that's what got you into driving in Alaska, right?
That's it. Being in remote places where I'd never be found. They went off the road.
All right. It's this time of day again. Anybody wants to add anything? Katie?
Nope. Hopefully, I'll test some AI stuff this week.
All right.
I'd like to add a side of fries with that, please.
Okay, well, if nobody has anything, let's finish up. Thanks, Spence. Thanks, Gal. Thanks, Katie. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. And don't forget to change any same password wherever you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT 107.9 FM in Charlotte. And it's on YouTube, so just go to YouTube and search for the Carolina Journal News Hour to get all the details. And Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., Nick hosts The Nick Craig Show at nickcraig.com. So just go to nickcraig.com and get all the details there. Have a great week. Stay safe.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.